Wouldn't it have been cool if they actually put this car into production in the 1970s? This is the 1970 AMC AMX3, and it is stunning. Sadly, it was never produced. In this video, we take a look at 10 of the baddest, meanest performance concept and prototype cars from that era that should have hit the streets, but remained confined to design studios and auto show turntables. It appears to be a production Shelby GT500, but beneath the hood lies a powerful secret. This 1967 Shelby Super Snake is a one-off prototype that was crafted into existence as a testbed for Goodyear's line of Thunderbolt tires. A requirement of the test car was that it could reach top speeds of over 150 miles per hour. As Shelby didn't have anything with those capabilities, one had to be built. They started with a Shelby GT500 and equipped it with a 650 horsepower 427 cubic inch engine from a GT40 race car that made it wicked fast. So fast, in fact, had they put the Super Snake into production, it would have been the fastest production car of them all at the time. There was a plan in place at the time to produce 50 copies of the Super Snake, but Ford calculated that they would have to be sold to the public at a price that was double that of the GT500 and canceled the project. This one-of-one original prototype still exists and was last sold at auction for $2.2 million in 2019. Back in 1964, Pontiac whiz kid John DeLorean rolled out the XP833 concept car, aiming to go head-to-head with Ford's hotshot Mustang and redefine Pontiac's image. It is an astonishingly gorgeous concept that became two drivable prototypes, a straight six-cylinder powered hardtop and a convertible version with a V8 beneath its sleek hood. The V8's performance was blistering, which turned out to be its downfall. GM executives slammed the brakes on any plans to put the Banshee into production. Why? Well, it turns out that this sleek speedster had the audacity to outshine the Corvette. In GM world, that's a major unthinkable, even to this day. DeLorean got the memo to cool his jets, and the Banshee, despite not having ever become a Pontiac production car, lent its styling to the C3 Corvette and the Opel GT. Look at this beauty, a 1969 Ford Mach 2C concept car that was envisioned to be powered by the Boss 429 or 427 cubic inch big block Cammer engine. It looks like a supercar from the 1970s or 80s and would have had the power to match. Starting in 1966, there were 3 versions in total of the Mach 2 concept cars that were created as mid-engine powered affordable sports cars to compete with the Corvette. There were 2 functioning, fully drivable prototypes of the first version created for driving evaluation. The second and third Mach 2 versions were created as clay model-only design studies, with the second version intended to be produced for the 1971 model year. Unfortunately, the project was scrapped, mostly due to technical issues related to its transaxle and poor handling characteristics, and never saw the light of day in dealer showrooms. That version 3 design though, what a beauty! The Italian-designed Chevrolet Testudo is an innovative two-seat concept that explores futuristic styling concepts in a one-off drivable prototype. From its Jaguar E-Type inspired rear end to its fold-up headlights and front-hinged wraparound canopy windshield design, the Testudo looked indeed like the future had arrived in 1963. It was built on a wheelbase shortened and modified 1962 Chevrolet Corvair 900 Monza Coupe that featured that car's engine and transmission, a 102 horsepower air-cooled flat 6-cylinder boxer engine with a 4-speed transmission. The Testudo was vaguely envisioned as possibly a limited European local market style Corvair production car candidate, but those plans never materialized. However, the design of the Testudo was very influential on future cars like the Ferrari Daytona and the front end and headlights on the Lamborghini Miura and Porsche 928. The 1968 Dodge Daroo I concept car was a wild ride into the future that sadly never hit the streets as a production vehicle. Crafted by George Barris, the Daroo started life as a 1967 Dodge Dart GT convertible with a rare 383 cubic inch engine beneath its futuristic-looking hood. The overall V-shaped look was not by accident. It was intentionally designed to resemble an arrow tip, or its donor car's namesake, a dart. The drivable Daroo I hit the major auto show circuit and was an instant crowd favorite with its wild orange paint accompanied by black accents and hood stripe. It was so popular, in fact, that Dodge decided to return it to the 1969 auto show circuit with a new atomic green paint job and other minor modifications. It was way too radical and impractical to ever have been considered for production, and was retired and sold off after appearing at auto shows in 1969. This Mustang-derived notchback Shelby coupe was conceived as not just a go-fast tire melter with Thunderbird taillights, but as an advanced technology high-performance road and racetrack superstar. Behold the Shelby EXP500, nicknamed the Green Hornet, for obvious reasons. Beneath its hood lives a fuel-injected 428 cubic inch 335 horsepower engine mated to a custom-developed 6-speed automatic transmission. Corner handling was improved by inclusion of an independent rear suspension setup. Helping to stop the beast after unleashing its ponies, the braking system consisted of disc types all the way around. The powertrain and suspension upgrades left enthusiasts wanting a production version of the Green Hornet. However, financial constraints and the intricate engineering demanded by the prototype development posed challenges that Shelby couldn't overcome for even limited production quantities. In the late 1960s, AMC sought to elevate its sports car presence, unveiling the show-stopping 1970 AMC AMX3 concept car, an Italian design-inspired mid-engine marvel crafted by AMC designer Dick Teague. 6 drivable prototypes were created for testing and promotional appearances, with either a 360 or 390 cubic inch engine powering them. Public acceptance and enthusiasm were encouragingly positive, and AMC fully intended to put the car into production. After some serious number crunching, AMC concluded that selling this automotive dream for at least $12,000 would have made it out of step with the competition, especially the Di Tommaso Pantera. So sadly, the curtain fell on the AMX3, leaving us with a jaw-dropping what could have been tale from the golden age of concept cars. In the early 1960s, Ford aimed to challenge the Corvette with their own 2-seat production sports car. Ford's solution was to craft a refined mass-market 2-seater based on the Cobra's chassis and powertrain. They got to work designing and building 2 versions of a concept, one as a coupe, the Cougar 2, and the other as a roadster, the Bordinat Cobra, named after its designer. Only the Cobra was drivable, outfitted with a 289 cubic inch engine, while the Cougar 2 never had an engine and was only created as a rolling show car. Ford should have produced these, as they might have been formidable Corvette contenders with the right engine choices and sports car appropriate handling characteristics. But that never happened, as Ford and Shelby decided to devote development resources to the GT40 race car and the Shelby Daytona instead. As the muscle car wars got underway with the launch of Pontiac's GTO for the 1964 model year, Chrysler's response was to get wild and futuristic with its Dodge Hemi Charger concept car. Chrysler wasn't totally blindsided by the GTO, and had just finished development of a second-generation version of its legendary Hemi engine for racing and street applications. As its name implies, the Charger was intended to be equipped with a 600 horsepower Hemi race engine, but none were available at the time, so it ended up with a 383 cubic inch engine instead. Looking like it escaped from the Batmobile School of Design, the concept wowed attendees at auto shows and marks the first time that the Charger name was used on any Chrysler creation. This Polara-based concept was a little too wild to be considered for the assembly line. However, the Charger name did survive, and was bestowed upon the much-loved and iconic 1968 through 1970 Dodge Charger that personifies the term muscle car. In the 1960s and 70s, Chevrolet embarked on the development of several mid-engine concept cars, notably the Serve 2 and the XP880 Astro 2. However, it was the unveiling of the mid-engine XP882 concept car, powered by a Wankel rotary engine at the 1970 New York Auto Show, that truly ignited public enthusiasm. This stunning concept car showcased avant-garde design, featuring elements such as slotted wheels and a fastback roof that hinted at future Corvette production models. A modified version of the XP882 reappeared in 1976 with a 400 cubic inch engine in place of the rotary engine and renamed the AeroVette. The AeroVette was actually slated for production in the early 1980s, but got canceled due to fuel efficiency concerns and the poor sales performance of other manufacturers' mid-engine sports cars, giving us the front-engine 1984 Corvette instead.